What's up, Live More Awesome? How you doing? My name is Cameron Gallagher. I'm a friend of Jimmy's, and he's asked me recently if I would consider doing a post for Live More Awesome. So I was excited about the idea. I'm a coach. I've helped people overcome depression in the past. I specialize in high performance, but I also really specialize and have a real passion for helping people overcome their limitations. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do about a 5 to 10 minute coaching course. Okay, it's going to be like a coaching call like you'd have if you were with me. And essentially what I want to do is I want to really dig into this idea of depression, and I want to change the way you experience it forever, okay? So I believe we can do that in 5 to 10 minutes. But what I'm going to need from you, if you want to come on this 5 to 10 minute journey with me, is I need your total focus, I need your total commitment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give you about 20 seconds. I need you to close any Facebook windows. I need you to turn off line your mobile phone. I want you to shut your door. I want you to make sure you are by yourself. I want you to get a pen. I want you to get a piece of paper. I want you to clear your desk. I want you to clear your head. I want you to get completely focused on this video, on this conversation, okay? So this is going to be a two-way conversation between me and between you. Now, if you want to permanently change the way that you experience depression in the future, which I'm going to assume that you do, because otherwise you probably wouldn't be here, and also learn how to increase your own ability to perform and increase your life enjoyment, then we're going to do all that in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So wait for it. Here we go. Are you ready? Have you gone and got your paper? You got your pen? You shut your door? I can see you running to your desk there because you just got up and you shut your door, you cleared your desk, you got your paper, you got your pen, you've taken all the distractions out, you've thrown your phone out the window, and you're ready to go. Good stuff. Okay, so let's start off with talking about depression, and I'll give you my story from my life very briefly. I'm not too into stories, but sometimes they have an explanatory value. I used to suffer from depression between the ages of 18 and 21, suffered constantly on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off. And I didn't have the tools that I'm about to give you right now, and it took me about 3 years to work out just the very basics of these things for myself, and when I did, it basically ended depression overnight. So you're going to be able to end this right now, so let's get started. The first concept I'm going to talk to you about is the concept of the secondary payoff. Now, the secondary payoff is a concept from psychology that says that any behavior, if it is continuing, it is because it is benefiting you in some way. Now, with depression, you might say, well, come on, man, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I hate being depressed. Why would I want to be depressed? It feels like crap. So, okay, well, that might be true. However, there may also be a secondary gain that you're getting from the depression. Okay, let's elaborate on this idea because it's very, very important. We do a lot of things unconsciously to meet our needs psychologically. Now, you may not be aware of what those needs are, and so what I'm going to do right now is to give you a model from a type of psychology called human needs psychology. Human needs psychology basically says that human beings do everything to meet one or more of 6 unique human needs. Okay, so here's where you're going to need, if you haven't been writing stuff down already, here's where you're going to need that pen and paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on your page. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it? Good. Okay. First need for certainty. Okay? That is the need to know that the sun's going to come up tomorrow morning, that society's still going to be there, Need for certainty. If you lose certainty, you get complete chaos. You ever had that situation where you had a desperate need to get money for something and you had no way of knowing, you just had no way to do it, you had no way of knowing how it's going to get there? How stressed out were you? You lost certainty. Certainty is number one. The second need is a paradox, and it is uncertainty. So if you get bored, if you know everything that's going to happen, you know what someone's going to say next, you know what's going to happen tomorrow, you know what's going to happen in the next 5 seconds, you know what's going to happen for the next 50 million years, every time, every second, you knew everything, you'd be totally bored. So the second need is uncertainty. You could also describe this as variety. So you could also describe certainty as security, for example. So the word is not important, it's the concept that's the key here. So don't get caught up on the words. So uncertainty, so variety, excitement, change, difference. Okay, so that need for uncertainty is another deep psychological need. So that's the second need. The third need is the need for significance, or the need to feel important and that we're worthy of love. So that can be just the need for significance maybe drives someone to perhaps buy a nice car, or to build something big or significant. Or on the detrimental side, it might cause someone to go and do a violent act because they feel insignificant. And they want to gain that sense of significance, so they will take it through violent force off someone else. That's the third need. The paradox, or the fourth need of that one, is the need to be loved. Now, if you focus all of your time and attention on being important, then it's very difficult to be loved because you're constantly focused on yourself. So the fourth need is a need to experience love. And obviously love can be with yourself, but it can also be shared. And it's somewhat of a paradox with significance or feeling important. The fifth need, so those first four needs in human needs psychology, those four needs are described as needs of the personality. And everyone has these needs, and everyone finds a way to meet these needs, though not always in a healthy way. Okay, now hopefully you're seeing where I may be going with this. So we can create things within our own minds to meet these needs that are maybe not healthy for us, okay, but they will meet these needs. So the fifth need and the sixth need in human needs psychology are termed spiritual needs. And these are the need to grow and the need to contribute. So the theory behind this is everything in life is either growing or it's dying. It's not standing still. Nothing in the universe stands still. So you're either growing or you're dying. So it's a life metaphor, really. So you're either growing or you're dying. And then contribution is that when you grow and you have more of yourself, then there's more of yourself to contribute to others, to life, to the greater expansion of existence, universe, whatever you want to call it. And so by doing that, you meet your spiritual needs, by growing and contributing. Where we get stuck, where we run into problems, is where we get focused on our problems in a way that stops us from growing, stops us from contributing. So what we want to do now is look at this in a couple of ways. The first is that I want you to think about, if you're suffering from depression, what is a need that this depression could be meeting? Okay? So what needs, and it's going to be more than one more than likely, but let's say what needs are you meeting through this depression? Okay, so think about that. Is it possible that by having this depression, you are able to feel significant because you have such a significant problem? Is it possible that depression meets your need for love because when you're depressed, people give you love? Is it possible that depression meets your need for certainty because you know that, for example, the world is a certain way, or that your life is a certain way, and by keeping it that way through the vehicle of depression, you gain certainty? Is it possible that depression meets your need for uncertainty? Say, it adds variety to your life to be depressed. It's something different, something new. Maybe there's no one around you that's been depressed before. Maybe it's a new series of experiences. Maybe you've never had people respond to you in the same way that they do when you're depressed. And that gives you variety, even in a toxic way. Have a think about this. Is it possible that your vehicle of depression is meeting your psychological needs And if that's true, and I'm willing to bet, because in my experience and the experience of others, it's almost always true. I'm willing to bet that you are meeting your needs through the vehicle of depression. So, if you're meeting these needs, I want you to work out what's the top 3 needs that you're meeting through depression, or top 2. There's probably 3, but or more, or 4. I want you to look at the ones you're meeting on a 0 to 10 scale. I'm going to write down the needs. You've already written down the needs, so let's just in a column next to it, write down how out of 10, 0 being nothing, 10 being totally and utterly meeting it, how much is this need being met through the vehicle of depression? So certainty is being met at a 1, a 2, a 3, or an 8, a 9, or a 10. Uncertainty, 1 or 2, 0, 8, 9, 10. Significance, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, or 10. And love, 1, 2, 3, or 8, 9, and 10. So write down those numbers. Really be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself just to keep this going. It's not worth it. Write down those numbers and take a look at it. If you've done this honestly, I'm willing to bet, and in most cases, you're looking at 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s out of 10 for at least 3 of these needs. According to human needs psychology, any time 3 needs or more are met at a level at roughly about a 6 or higher, that behavior that is meeting those needs, or the vehicle, the individual will become psychologically addicted to that vehicle or behavior. Addicted. It's well known, and it's been said many times from some of the top psychologists in the world, that emotions are among the most addictive chemicals available. The most addictive drugs in the world are our emotions. And when you psychologically produce these emotions through what happens within your own mind, you are chemically addicting yourself through your own mind. You are causing the chemical changes in your biochemistry, in your brain, that go on to hold your body anchored in this state that you call depression, that you label depression. So what are you going to do about this? There's a couple of things. If you're looking at this right now and you're saying, wow, that's really crazy, I didn't realize I met my needs like this, that's cool. What you need to do is you need to work out what vehicles you can now use that are different, that are easier, that are healthier to get these needs met. And if you're not looking at 7s, 8s, and 9s, if you're all only looking at 0s, 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, then there's 2 possibilities for you. One, potentially, this is purely a biochemical or brain balance thing that is not psychological in any way. However, I always question that, because I believe there's always some degree of psychology involved in this. However, that may be your situation, and that's totally cool. But what I'd be really careful of, if I was in your position and I'm looking at 0s, 1s, 2s, or 3s or something like that, I'd really want to look in the mirror and ask myself, am I really being honest with myself? We humans have very, very powerful rationalization mechanisms, self-defense mechanisms, where we can convince ourselves We are telling ourselves things that are completely not true. So I would want to be very, very careful, and I would really want to be brutally honest and have the courage to look at myself honestly and say, am I really meeting these needs on the 0, 1, 2, or 3 with this? Or am I really, actually, honestly getting 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s here? So I'd really want to look at that. Now, for those of you that are now looking at 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s here, what I want to make you aware of is a couple of things. The first is depression is a vehicle to get these needs met. So you can change the vehicles and you can get those needs met other ways, and what will happen naturally is that your brain will start to say, well shit, I'm getting my needs met over here, and it's so much nicer to get these needs met in these healthy ways, and it'll just start to find depression a lot less valuable because it's not needing to get so much of those need structures filled up because you're meeting it in other areas. So that might be one of the common things, for example, and a really great way to illustrate this is when people get depressed, they don't want to ask for help. And one of the things that asking for help does is it immediately meets your need. Because people are open to it, and they usually totally okay to help you. Even if they can't help you because they don't know what to do, they will validate you usually, and that will meet your need for love in a healthy way because you're having open communication. It will make you feel significant because they want to help you. It will give you a degree of certainty because now you have an increased level of certainty that if they want to help you, then surely someone else can. And if someone else is willing to do it, then surely this problem isn't as big as I thought it was. So you get certainty. Bam, straight away you meet 3 needs at very high levels. High certainty, high significance, high love, right? And some uncertainty, because maybe that relationship, maybe that new conversation creates the start of a new relationship, a deeper relationship. And guess what you're doing now? You're growing, and you're also allowing someone to contribute to you. Very, very powerful. So what starts to happen there is you start to take away, or add another vehicle rather, to meet these needs that's more pleasurable than the vehicle you've been using. And your brain will naturally gravitate away. It's going to take away. It's why it's so impactful. So that's one way. So you want to look at the vehicles that you can use to meet your need for certainty. The vehicles you can use to meet your needs for uncertainty. The vehicles you can use to meet your need for love. The vehicles you can use to meet your needs for significance. And really write down as many as you can to meet those needs quickly, easily. Very important, make them quick and easy. Because if a vehicle is really hard to use or to make it happen, then you're less likely to do it. So, for example, if it's dependent on someone that's not always around, that's not necessarily a great vehicle because you're going to go back to the vehicle that you're using, because the depression is, how easy is it to get depressed? What do you need? I'll tell you what you need. Nothing. You've got all of the tools that you could use to get depressed right now, right? Change your body. Start focusing on negative things, saying negative things to yourself, and focus on all the bad stuff that's going on in your life. Start breathing more shallow. And start to think about how bad life is. Slow right down. And just kind of go into your cave in your mind. And just kind of feel a heavy heart. You know? How things might have been. Focus on all those things from the past that could have gone better. Could have gone well. And didn't. Fuck that! Don't do that anymore, right? That is not a good strategy for life, right? Whoa, I feel terrible after that. Damn, it's horrible, horrible feeling. So, you've got all the resources available for you to create depression anytime you want. So let's stop doing that. Find some new vehicles, find them to be easy. Song, music is a great one. Obviously exercise is good, but you've got to be reasonably motivated for that, but it is one of the best treatments for depression. Get some cool music, music that amps you up, music that reminds you of good times. Write down those good times. Just journal, get a journal. Write down some great times that you had with friends and connect with those old feelings, those old experiences. They're all in here too. And as you connect with them, you meet those psychological needs. And as you meet those psychological needs, your brain starts to go, man, this is so pleasurable. I'm enjoying this. I'm just going to keep doing more of this, and I'll do less and less of this. Because in life, it's very difficult to stop doing something. It's very easy, or much easier, to add something and to slowly transition over. So focus on the transition. Focus on finding new vehicles to actually come up with ways to meet these needs. Now, the other concept I just introduced to you then with that demonstration was the concept of the triad. And this is a concept that I learned at the Robbins-Medana Center for Strategic Intervention in the States who I trained with. Now, this is a concept that's a triangle, and you might want to draw a triangle on your paper there. On one side, write the word, now we're going miles over 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but who cares, man? Let's get this done, right? Let's end this for good, right here, right now, man. This can be the end of depression forever for you, permanently. Not only that, you can use these tools to become insanely happy and focused and productive and create a new vision for yourself. So let's just do that, right? Why fuck around? So get this triangle. Write on one side, language, right? Language on one side, right? Language here. Write focus here. It doesn't really matter what side they're on, whatever. Focus up here, and write physiology or body down here. Okay, 3 sides. Language, focus, physiology. Okay? This, and you can write the triad up the top if you want. So the triad is the way that we generate emotion within ourselves. Okay? So emotion, as you saw before, I managed to make myself feel pretty sick and actually quite upset and depressed just by focusing my body. And I didn't even really take it too far. I really basically got so uncomfortable, I didn't want to take it any further. But if I had have, I would have found myself feeling unbelievably depressed. But I can still, still feel that a little bit. It's not very nice. So let's look at, what do you say to yourself? What do you focus on? What events you focus on? What pictures are you picturing in your head? What are you saying to yourself? And what's the tone of the voice of that language? And what are you doing with your body when you're depressed? I gave you the obvious example, and if you've seen anyone be depressed, they all look the same way. And they all are usually withdrawn, talking slowly, and in this tone of voice that just communicates low energy. And they breathe in a way that they just expel all the air out of their lungs in a weak way, as though there's no energy in their body left anymore. And it communicates to their nervous system that there just isn't any energy left. And that tells you and makes you go into an experience where you feel like there isn't any energy to tackle your problems. And when you feel like there's no energy to tackle your problems, and you're focusing on all the negative stuff, all of your smallest problems seem enormous. And if you keep focusing on how bad it's been and how bad it's going to be in the future because it's been so bad in the past, you'll pretty soon find, and you tell yourself that you're weak and that you're nothing, and that you don't have what it takes, and that other people are better than you, and you don't deserve to have what you want in life. Pretty soon, you'll be completely disempowered. Fuck that! Stop doing that now! Never again. Resolve within yourself. Hey, I have this awareness. I didn't have this awareness before. Fuck that. Don't do it anymore. No more. That's it. We're done. That's it. Never again. Life is not worth spending time in a depressed fucking state. So stop it. That's it. You're done. Complete. Cool. Brilliant. Over with. Okay? Good. In the future, what I want you to do is I want you to find language that you say to yourself, pictures that you need to picture to yourself, and body postures, body movements that allow you to change your state into a state of confidence and empowerment. Keys to doing that: your breath, your chest, big breaths. Breathe it out powerfully. You may even want to add a sound to that, like an ice, like a hoorah, right? Hoorah! Feel what that feels like. Feel the energy and the strength in your body. I don't care what state you've allowed your body to get down to, you have got power and survival power inside your body. Access it. Breathe into it. Hoorah! Say something like that. Hoorah! Go on, say it now. Fuck it, I don't care if there's anyone else around. This is your depression, this is your damn life. Take control right now. Hoorah! Make it happen, right? Make it happen. Just do it now. Get up and say it right now. Breathe in. Powerfully breathe out. Hoorah! And just feel yourself, man. You're back, baby. You're back. Remember those times where you were back, right? Stand up. If you ain't standing up right now, you ain't taking this seriously. So stand up. Get out of your damn seat. Get onto your feet. Move around a little bit. Move your shoulders back. Relax your back. Relax your neck. Move your neck from side to side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hoorah! Say it. Hoorah! Yeah, can you feel that? Hit your chest. Wake up, man. Come on. Hoorah, baby. Yeah, life's in the zone. Get in the zone, man. Hoorah! Feel it. Hoorah! Right? Get into it, man. Put on a fucking musical track. Get a soundtrack that you like. Get some epic music. Get some amping music. I don't care what you've got to do. Slap yourself in the face. Change your state. Wake up. Interrupt your pattern and go hoorah! Right? Feel how differently that feels. That is a completely different you. And yet you're still the same person. So if you just did that, you should be feeling a very different state inside your body right now. You have changed your biochemistry. You've changed the chemicals and the homeostasis functioning in your body right now just through doing that exercise. You've triggered completely old, powerful, happy experiences. If you do that on a regular basis, you will remember who you used to be, the powerful, confident you, the confident self that you used to have. Okay? So interrupt that pattern, find some cool music, move around, put the energy in your body and get powerful. Come up with some kind of trigger words like that. The hoorah is a good one for me. Do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be hoorah. It could be anything. Whatever reminds you of your powerful, confident self, right? Start saying it. Start triggering yourself back into that state, right? Get yourself into a peak state of confidence and say that affirmation. Say that sound. Say whatever it is that trigger you back into that state. Okay, so now you know about the triad. You know about the 6 human needs. You know about the language, the focus, the physiology. You know about certainty, uncertainty. You know about significance. You know about love. Now, focus, growth, and contribution. I want you to realize, and as you grow beyond this, as you make the choice now to grow, you are going to be supported in that. You are moving in the direction of life. Now, I don't know who cares if you have spiritual beliefs or not. The fact is the universe is a growing thing. It's growing, it's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger at a faster rate. Align yourself with those forces. Move into a space of growth. Move into a space where you will contribute, because I promise you in your life, once you move beyond this and you learn these lessons, you will end up imparting these gifts to other people. And through that, you are able to contribute to other people, and that growth and contribution is what will help you to move beyond it. So come up with a bigger vision for what this is going to mean to you. Change the meaning of what depression means to you now. Change the meaning, okay? So this brings us into another part here. We're just going to keep going. You can stop at any time you want, but I'm just going to keep hammering you with these things because I want this gone for you right now. The meaning you've given this depression. What's the meaning you've given it? Does it mean it's the end, or does it mean it's the beginning? Big difference. Does it mean that you are now disempowered, or does it mean that it is now a challenge that you are excited about? Right? The situations that created that you believe maybe created the depression? What are the meanings you gave to those situations? Okay, you may want to write some of this stuff down. Maybe there was an event, perhaps, that triggered or brought on this depression. It happened just before you became depressed. Maybe something happened. Maybe something you really wanted went away. Maybe you lost something. Maybe there was a big failure. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you made something mean, something about who you are as a person, who you are within yourself. Maybe you decided as a result of something that happened that you were bad, or that you were at fault, or you were a negative individual. And maybe the situation, maybe you did cause the situation. Maybe you were responsible for it. Maybe it was your fault. However, did you then make that mean something about yourself? Did you make that mean that you were a failure? Did you make that mean that you were a nothing? Did you make that mean that you were a zero? Did you make that mean that you didn't deserve greatness in your life anymore? Because I'm here to tell you that all those beliefs are bullshit. They are absolutely bullshit. And as long as you hold on to those beliefs, I want you to look at what the cost of those beliefs are. Okay? So let's go through that. Got some questions here. So, if there was a preceding event that you can think about, what was a decision that you made after that event? So a decision that you made about the beliefs that event meant. So what is the decision you made about the meaning of that event? Write that down. Okay. What beliefs did you form as a result of this event? Okay, so what beliefs did you take on, decide to believe as a result of that? What is the current impact of these beliefs? Okay, so if the belief is, I'm nothing, I'm a nobody, I'm at fault, I cause so much pain, I don't deserve anything anymore. What's the current impact of that? What's the impact been in the past? And what's going to happen in the future if you don't change these beliefs? If you don't let go of that belief. Okay. Ask yourself if you will let that belief go now. And if you will, think about a new belief that might be more helpful to you. And start to write that down. Okay. So if you were, I'm a nobody, I don't deserve this, let's just throw that belief right out. It's not true. No matter what belief you believe, you can find evidence for its truth. So let's just, if all beliefs therefore are just really made up anyway, why don't we just make up beliefs that serve you, that help you? Now someone in your past, maybe no one's ever given you permission to do that. Well, I'm giving you permission to do that. I'm telling you, you can make up a belief about yourself, make up a belief about the situation, make up the meaning in a way that serves you, that helps you to grow, helps you become better, becomes greater, becomes more, allows you to be more. I'm giving you permission to do that. So do that. Write those things down. Maybe it's, you know what, I'm awesome. You know what, maybe I made a mistake. But that doesn't mean I am a mistake. Maybe I made a mistake. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I just didn't know any better at the time. And that is always true, by the way. That is always true. That is never not true. Even when you maybe knew better at the time and you still acted in that way, you can still have compassion for that. You were misguided. Maybe you were misguided. It doesn't matter. That's not the point, right? Maybe you believed that maybe somebody hurt you and you believed all people will always hurt you, or I deserve to be hurt. Or it wasn't about that person, it must have been about me.